Hey everybody, welcome. Now today we're gonna be talking about a very interesting topic which is inputs. Okay, as you can see on the screen, I've prepared a little something, I have written down some code and I'm just gonna be explaining what this is and just gonna be going through each and every single line. Okay, let's get right to it. As you can see above, I have initialized a variable called name, and inside this name I'm just gonna store my name in there. And as you watch the last videos, you probably know what variables are. I don't have to explain. And I'm just gonna store my age inside the variable age and inside the gender variable. I'm a male, so I'm just gonna store a capital letter M, and we're going to run this and see. Oops, I forgot a semicolon. Just put that semicolon where it belongs, guys. Don't forget. We don't want to upset the grandpa C++. Okay, let's run this and see what it displays. As you can see on the screen, it displayed the information that I've entered in. Well, this is one way of inputting values inside your program. I mean, it's not bad if you don't want to change the values and if the values they're gonna be part of the program by default. But what if I want the user or I want myself to input the values? Well, there's a very, specific, or I can say, special function that you can use to do that, to input values, and it's quite related to the cout statement. As you can see, I've changed my name here. This is not bad if you don't want to change your variables or don't want to change the the input that you enter. But if you want the user to enter and you want yourself to enter the values afterwards, you can use the cin function, as you can see, and it's related to the cout function, but there's only two things that you need to note. Don't ever put end line on a cin function. And number two, you see those the operators, which are they must be facing outwards, not inwards. So it's like sort of like the opposite of cout. Everything it's cin, it's going in, it's opposite. Don't put end line, and its operator must be facing inwards, because that's where information will be going. It's coming from the keyboard, it's going inside the computer, and it's going to be to store whatever we enter inside the variable of called computer. So basically that's what you do. Here we're just gonna display each and every single line and see, and just to demonstrate that this computer, whatever we stored inside the variable name, age or gender, is what's gonna be stored inside the computer. So this is like also something that you can use. Maybe you want to input the values and then afterwards you want to calculate something else using those values that were you inputted. So it's just something that you can use and it's pretty cool. And we're just going to display here and see how it worked, how whether it stored the values or not. And it did. There's no way it didn't store the values. So it's just for demonstration, guys. As you can see, I'm going to say gender, oops, gender, end line, close semicolon. I'm just going to run this. Oops, I forgot a semicolon. Guys, put those semicolons right where they belong. Okay, let's see. As you can see, it's asking me to enter my name. So I'm just going to enter my name up there, and I'm going to enter my age and my gender. And it stored whatever values we entered. And as you can see, it's telling me what my name is. And it's pretty cool. As you can see, it's just cool. So yeah, that's it. That's it for input. So let's just take a few notes here. All right, let's get right to it. As you can see here, there's just a few notes that you need to take considering the cin function. And as you saw, it's just used to input values from the keyboard and store them inside variables. Well, and it uses the operators, and they must be always facing inwards because that's where information is going inside. And it belongs to the IO stream. Basically, it makes sense since the I in the IO stream stands for input. It's input output stream, if you remember. So that just makes sense. So here's a couple of functions that I want you to take note of. Please note that these functions are very important. You're gonna need them at some point when you enter values. Let's start with the cin.get function. This is just the function that takes away one keystroke. So don't worry about this function right now. We're gonna explain it later. So right now we're going to focus on the getLine function. This is a most used function by programmers. Here's why. Okay, last time we entered something like we entered our details inside a program and we ran it and it gave us back our details. So right now I'm gonna run this and I want to enter my full name instead of my first name. Okay, let's do that. Here I'm just gonna enter my first name and then my second name. Let's run this. Whoa, what's happening? Well, this is the part where you will need the getLine function. Basically, let me just show you what happened here. You know why it did that chaotic thing that it showed is because the cin function alone cannot handle a space bar. So for example, if I enter my full name using a space bar to separate each name, this will accept C++ because cin alone cannot handle the space bars. So that's why it needs the getLine function. That's the function that you can use whenever you have space bars in your statements. So now let's enter the full name again, Samuel Chris. As you can see, it moved on to the next line instead of just not asking me what my name is. And as you can see, it gave me what I wanted, which is my name is Samuel Chris and I'm 100 years old and I'm an alien. So that's why you need the getLine function. Basically, it takes cin as its first parameter, and then it's going to take the variable where you are going to store your name. And there's one thing I want you to know, that this getLine function, it doesn't have a dot. It's different from the get function. And don't I know you heard me say parameter. I'm just gonna explain what those are. Basically, it's just simple once you get the hang of it. And there's also one thing that I want to point out here, which is \n right next to the variable name. Basically, this small or piece of statement, it skips a line. It's end line, but it's sort of like end line that is used in the getLine function. But basically, you don't even have to put it because like C++, it automatically skips a line for you. So I don't think you need it that much. So, but you can still use it if you want. Okay, that's it for inputs, guys. See you in the next topic.